Howdy folks, I'm Mark. Thanks for joining me for this short talk about video games. Might sound a little different because this is another slapdash episode. Out here walking with my child. Putting together an episode because family's been sick and I've got another chonkster of Nit McKeever in the pipeline. I just could not get it edited, so doing this an old-fashioned way with an iPhone. But thanks for joining me. This is a bit of an intermission between those two Nate episodes and a bit of an appendix to last week's episode on Xbox. Talking briefly about just the more personal impacts of Xbox's changes, because I got so mad that I sold my Xbox, which is half true. I actually decided to sell it before all this stuff came out, and all this stuff coming out actually just reaffirmed my decision. So partly what's going on there is, you may have heard me mention, I bought a Steam Deck. And so I had Game Pass these last few months. It had a 3-month code. And this time, at this point in my life, it was just not what I was playing. So, it just didn't fit with my habits. I couldn't really spend the same amount of time as I could before. And I really just wanted to play other stuff than what was available to me on Game Pass. And so all of that got me thinking, in this last Steam Summer Sale, the Steam Deck itself is on sale itself. And so I went ahead and got it for just the base LCD 64 gigabyte model for $300, which I feel like was a great deal. And in doing so, I decided I've got the Series X, I'll sell it, and kind of replace it. So a bit of an end of an era, but short one that is shorter than I thought it would be. And again, it made sense for a time, but I don't want to be beholden to Game Pass. And I mentioned in a previous episode, Xbox's loyalty problem wasn't that hard to give it up, because there just wasn't much of a Microsoft games investment on my end. It was all through Game Pass. So with Steam Deck, I feel like I was never really a handheld guy, but being able to play in bed is just nice. That's kind of like where everything is fit in for me now, where I'm just, at the end of the day, I've got my Steam Deck and we're winding down. With the shift to handheld in my lifestyle, I wonder if there's a broader shift overall, especially as the core demographic for video games keeps getting older, as we all become parents and have less time. It feels like there's always Game Boy and there's always PlayStation doing their PSP or Vita, but now just handhelds are literally everywhere. And it reminds me, there is a book by David Byrne, lead singer of Talking Heads, called How Music Works. I have not read it all, but I keep on citing the first chapter talks about how music genres really were often shifted, and what was popular shifted almost not single-handedly, but a key part due to what the venues were. So with the a broader expendable income, more people were going to concerts, which was how you got kind of the shift from funk into arena rock, because more people go to concerts move to arenas, and the echo chambers of an arena, just for soul and funk and jazz, it just didn't work in those contexts. But what does work and what does sound good is literally arena rock. And so you just had music shift because of all these different demographics and different circumstances. And so I wonder if we see that with the rise of handhelds. And I'm not saying I'm the most indicative person for this, but I am seemingly part of this wave of moving from sitting down for stretches of time at the TV to more pick up and play. And obviously that was a key part to the success of the Switch. And obviously it's always been a part of Nintendo's history of handheld. We'll see if that continues to grow, and if that continues to be just the way I play games. And then again, seeing the changes to the Game Pass tiers and the price increase just kind of reaffirmed my decision. And a few more thoughts kind of going off of that. Like, for one, $20 a month, because like I'm not at this, I don't want to mess around with the other tiers. I would just go with Ultimate. Ultimate, it's just the price value there, I think, is still valuable, like we mentioned in the last episode, but for a certain kind of person, and I'm just not that person anymore. So because I couldn't put in the time, and I was only playing the games really available to me in Game Pass, not necessarily the ones I really wanted to play. I think there'll be a few things I missed. So there were a handful of games, particularly from Xbox, that were coming out day one, and that was a nice way to feel like I was part of the ongoing conversation and to stay up to date with the industry. Because going with Steam, like the purpose is, like I'll get these games on Steam sale probably a year or two after they come out and play them then. So I'll be kind of, maybe feel like I'm behind the times, but not totally sure. But like the most anticipated game this year is probably Indiana Jones. And so I'm bummed that I won't get to play that when it comes out, but I imagine it'll come to Steam too. I don't know if it necessarily run on the deck, but it could eventually, and it will be on sale eventually. So I'm not like totally locked out from playing it ever again. So I'm also curious, moving from Xbox to Steam Deck, which I should note, still have Switch, still, I think I'll keep investing in the Nintendo ecosystem because I just like Nintendo games too much. If it wasn't for that, I could see Steam and Steam Deck being kind of like my primary mode of playing games, but Steam Deck doesn't have Legend of Zelda. So I'm wondering if, with my intention to get into the rhythm of buying games on sale after they come out, like I'm not really, I was never, even with Xbox, I was never really buying games day one, only just playing them on Game Pass if they were on day one. That won't necessarily change. And so what I'm curious about too is with sales, will I end up just kind of playing the games that are available to me, for $5 as opposed to the games that are on Game Pass where I'll actually play the games I want to play. But I also, at the same time, I see how it happens where people get these massive backlogs. And so it's already tempting. It's already happening. So that is the big habit shift for me. And we'll like to see what happens next. And one quick kind of more eulogy for Game Pass, which for one, I'll say because of cloud, I might still get Game Pass every so often because they can, through some finagling, Steam Deck can run xCloud, and so that might be the way I play Indiana Jones. Who even knows? But I want to do a quick eulogy for the games that I played and loved on Game Pass. Some of these I feel like I just should have bought, but it's too late now. Not too late now. I can always buy them again, but I don't know if I should really play these again. But Outer Wilds, which I did buy again, is probably key game for me, and obviously talked about a lot here. Ori and Will of the Wisps, Hi-Fi Rush, another key game. Red Dead Redemption 2, Jusant, Chants of Sennaar, Tunic, It Takes Two, Psychonauts 2. Especially watching Psychonauts, I wish I'd invested more time. That's one where it's like, I was just rushing to get through these games, and I feel like Psychonauts 2 deserved a lot more time than what I gave it, and so I'd love to try it again. Hades, Jedi Fallen Order, Guacamelee 2, and Snowrunner. Plenty more beyond that, but I feel like those are the games that having Xbox gave me access to play. I really enjoyed them. I think all of these games I can just buy and play on Steam Deck, and so maybe with some, I don't know about all of them. Some of them are a little technical, but appreciate what the Xbox did. Kind of moving on to Steam, and I imagine PC-ish will be kind of the main pillar alongside Switch for me. So anyway, all those rambling thoughts. Thanks for joining me on my continue to catalog my journey with Xbox and my thoughts there. We'll be back next week when I have more time to edit the next episode. It is a beefy one, so enjoy that for now. I don't have my outline And so I don't know any of the sign-off things, but let me know. Are you still playing Game Pass? Did you ever play Game Pass? What do you think? You can find us on the proper socials. You can follow us on major podcasting services. Quick Play Pod, all that stuff. And that is it for today. Hope you have a great day. Bye.